Don't make me cry.
Hi, my name is Krula, and this is actually my first convention ever.
Oh, welcome! How about a hand? It's your first convention.
And my question is, with scenes or moments you are in or not in, what are your favorites?
Oh man, like maybe drunk Colin. He did that to a T. Like I know him as a guy, and I know that he's funny. But seeing that dude, I texted him and I was like, "You are incredible!" Like it was so good, so good. That stuff. You asked me what's my favorite that I'm not in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably like Bex is hysterical. So like anything Bex does is like magic. And you'll get to see her in the panel, and she's my favorite person to watch in the panel. She is unbelievable. Prepare to laugh your butt off, pardon my French. So those would be two. And watching Rumpel too, like any Rumpel. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie.
Hi, Mackenzie.
What was the funniest moment you've had playing Smee?
Oh, probably being mocked by Colin. We were doing this scene. It was me, him, and Ariel out in the forest. And so the way the director had the scene going is we were all walking up this trail. And we had, so he had a sword, I think she had something, and I was given a battle axe. And so I was never given this before, and I swear to God, I was like a little kid, and so I was sort of in my own world. They're walking up ahead of me, and I'm behind. And so I was just like a little kid, I was just getting bored, and I started like slashing some of the leaves and stuff. And then I ended up breaking the axe, and I still haven't lived that down. Colin's like, "You gonna break another prop, Chris?" He's like, "You better not have that, you'll break it."
That's awesome, thank you.
Thank you. This side.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Maria.
Hi, Maria.
My question is, what is one of the things that you have learned as an actor? That you have learned as an actor?
Oh, I would say empathy. Like, I think I've always been an empathetic person, but when you portray a character, it's about being vulnerable to that character. And in turn, you become a little bit more vulnerable in life. Like you try to put yourself in somebody else's position. And it's probably the most valuable thing I've learned in terms of putting myself in other people's shoes and knowing the struggles that they're going through, or at least being able to just sympathize with it, you know? And acting has given me, I think, that ability to kind of at least try to understand as much as I can. So that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Chris, I'm
Hi.
Natasha. Thanks
Hi,
so
Natasha.
much for trivia, by the way. That was
Oh, you're welcome. It was my first time.
all right hosting and everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was kind of curious where you got your inspiration for your character, because it seems quite a bit different from the animated Smee from Peter Pan.
That's right. Yeah. So when I first went into the audition, I think I did about 3 or 4 rounds to audition for Smee. I went in first and I did it kind of Bob Hoskinsy. I did it sort of like with a Cockney accent. I'm a man who can get things, sort of like that. And they had me come back in and do it sort of North American style, and then came back in, did it Brit style again, and then came back in, did it North American style, to the point where I didn't know which I was going to do. So it was like, I was literally on the Jolly Roger, talking to the director, and I said, "So what accent do you want?" And he goes, "Just a second. North American." So it was down to that. It was down to the, like, right before we shot. And the first scene I shot was on the Jolly Roger. So that was the process. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi.
My name is Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
First of all, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Second of all, I wanted to know about the musical episode. I know the scene was very, very short, so I know even short scenes take all day.
That did take all day.
Because of the dance blocking and everything. So could you tell us how that went?
That was crazy. And here's the thing that was super duper messed up about that whole situation. So Colin and I came out for a single rehearsal. And all the dancers did about 5 days of rehearsal. There's something wrong with this picture. These guys are professional dancers. They had 5 days of rehearsal. Colin and I are very much not dancers. And we got like 2 hours. We got 1 day rehearsal. So, and then we were there for basically all day. I mean, I was still learning right up until the end of the day, and I think at the end of the day I go, I got it! And it was like, it was done. You know what I mean?
You
But
did it. It was really good.
thank you very much, thank you. I'm in the deep background for a reason though, I'll tell you that. I like acting, dancing's not really my strong point.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Hi, my name is
Hi.
Liz. Thank
Hi,
you
Liz.
for being here.
Thank you.
My question is, what is a typical daily schedule for filming? Like, what's your schedule when you do the show?
So when I'm on, generally they'll put the actor who's in, they'll put their, if you're in the same location, you'll be in that same location, so you'll shoot all the scenes in that location, whether it's at the beginning, so you can shoot a scene at the very beginning of a show and at the very end of the show. And you'll do that all in one day. We don't shoot chronologically in TV and film. You shoot location dependent. So a day would be, I might start with scene 3 and then go to scene 40 or something like that. And it's generally all day. You'll get there, you'll do a blocking, and then the camera and crew will all set up. And that'll take about an hour, so you go back to your trailer, you can eat, hang out. We've got it really good as actors, by the way. Like, we get to just chill, and crew is there all day, sometimes for 16, 17, 18 hours in a day, sometimes to get stuff done. And we get to rest in these trailers. Still, some of us can be bitchy about it. Like, oh, I can't believe it's taking so long. Meanwhile, the crew is out in the rain, like, hauling stuff. So basically, that'll be it. And then every scene change, there'll be about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half in between. Like, sometimes a little bit quicker if it's just tweaking. But when you see all those different camera moves, so when you see coverage on me and then say coverage on you, that's a whole turnaround. They call it a turnaround. And they switch the cameras all around. And sometimes they, like, depending on the director you get, you'll have like him shooting it from this angle, this angle, this angle. So you do the scene, anywhere up to 100 times for one single little scene. Unless it's super easy. The scene where I got turned into a rat, that was like, it was just one on me and then one on Robert, and that was it. So a day can be anywhere from that to just coming in and just doing one scene. Those are lovely days. Those are lovely. But it's fun to work too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, what he said. Hi.
Hi, my name is Juliana.
Hi, Juliana.
I was wondering, was there anything you did to prepare for the role of Smee?
No, like I said before about being sort of empathetic, I really admire characters who are just loyal people, like vulnerable and loyal. Like, I like that kind of thing. So for me, that like fell right into what I like doing. So it was kind of natural. I am kind of like that type of person. I'm supportive, and I like froyo. So I did some, without knowing it, I did a lot of research into eating froyo. So that was on there. But basically, I was made to play the part, baby. No, it worked out great for me. It worked out great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
My name is Kiara, and my question is, what was the biggest challenge on taking on the role of Mr. Smee?
Just working with these powerful people, I think, and like having to elevate my game to be in and amongst these people. The cast, as you all know, is incredible. And the amount of work that they put into it, that was the biggest thing for me, was just being able to like, and it's so great. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, when I was watching Robert in that scene that I was talking about before, you don't even have to act and you get your best stuff, because all you're doing is sitting there petrified of this green man. And he looks so evil, like, man, I was like, so to learn that from him, and like talking with him about it, and he would tell me things like Rumple, actually, when he meets somebody, he takes a little piece of them, and he incorporates that into his character. So it's these little tricks that I learned from these guys, and that was the big challenge, was just to try and keep up. But you're like, I had it easy because my character's kind of a schlub anyway, and just like, he's like, oh, okay, and does what he's told or whatever. But just to elevate my game and just to be right up there with those guys, because this cast is exceptional.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right? Yeah, clap. Yeah. It was freaking awesome. Hi.
I'm speaking for Kels Rose.
Hi, Kels Rose.
Teal hair, green chair. She likes your tattoos. She wants you to tell her about your tattoos.
Okay. So I have this tattoo here. I don't know if you can see, is the camera moving at all? Because you won't be able to see here. So this one here, that is a riplet. I was in a band called the Riplets, and me and my friend Andy Shillington designed it, and he ended up taking his own life when we were younger. Doing it again. Okay, he ended up committing. It's okay, it's okay. And so I got the tattoo for him, and actually the guitarist in the band was becoming a tattooist at the time, and he actually did it. So it was like a full band thing. And that's that tattoo. This tattoo, can we go down again, guys? That's my favorite. Now this is just like, can you guys see it? It's an owl and a skull. And I've been enamored by owls since I was super duper young. And my original plan was to have an owl. And then I wanted like a skull, just like sort of subtly hidden in its chest, but the tattoo artist decided that that would be too difficult because he couldn't put the claws anywhere type thing. So he just did that skull, and I love it. I just love his art. And it's a place called Black Rider in Vancouver that did it for me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, Chris.
Stop making me cry!
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Ariel.
Hi, Ariel.
And my question is, where do you get your inspiration for all of your SME jokes?
It's so easy to pun with Smee. Smee, myself, and I. Like, it lends itself to it so well. You know, it's anything that's me in a song, it instantly becomes Smee, and it always works. Trust me. Try it yourself. That's it. It's easy. Thanks. Thank you, Ariel.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Since in Once Upon a Time, a lot of characters fulfill different characters, I was wondering who you would think would be fun for me to be a plot twist character of.
How do you mean?
So like how Mother Gothel was both Rapunzel and like she went everywhere. Same thing with Rapunzel. She was Lady Tremaine, Rapunzel, and all of these. So like if you chose a character, who would you want to be the plot twist?
Like another character?
Yes. Or to fulfill another character's role, but still be the same character.
Right. Captain Hook. Could you imagine if all along?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Hey. My name is Isabella.
What is your name?
Isabella.
Isaria?
Isabella.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Isaria.
What?
Isabella.
Isabella! Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm a little bit deaf. That's what's going on there.
And my question is, what's your favorite season of all seven?
Favorite season of the whole show?
Yeah.
Season 2. But for me, it was just like the most adventurous we got. We got to like ride on the Jolly Roger, and that was absolutely incredible being on that.
Yeah.
We had lots of the extras were guys that actually know how to man the boat, which was helpful. But this boat was incredible. It was like a Cadillac. I mean, there was no motion to it whatsoever.
Okay.
Like, and we were on the stormy seas in Vancouver, just outside of Vancouver, and you would like look over at the land, you would see like a certain landmark or something like that. You would do the scene, and you would look back, and it doesn't feel like you're moving, and the landmark would be way, way back there. But just like to be immersed in the actual thing, because lots of the stuff we do is on green screen for the Jolly Roger. Like the episode where we're getting brutally splashed when Henry comes on the Jolly Roger with us. That was all green screen. And that was all like just done on hydraulics on the boat.
Okay.
So season 2, just because of that, and then meeting Rumple, like that is my favorite scene.
Okay.
Where I met Rumple. Thank you very much, Isabella.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Roxanne,
Hi, Roxanne.
and my question is, out of all like the different fairy tale lands that there are, which one is your favorite and which one do you like live in basically? As yourself, not as your character.
I think Neverland. I just love the creepiness of it. Like how Once Upon a Time did it, like so creepy. Like I love the turn that they did as opposed to like the original thing. Because Neverland in the old Peter Pan cartoon, like it was kind of glorious and fun. This was like the kids were super evil. I just love what they did to it. I love what they did to it. And then obviously I would also love to live in Storybrooke. I know that's not fairy tale, but I would love to live there. What a cool town to be in. Thank you. Thank you. Getting a workout here. Chair aerobics. Sorry.
Hi, my name is Drew.
Hi, Drew.
Which song from the musical spoke to you the most?
I'm not gonna cry this time because I'm picking our song, the pirate one. What is it called again? What? Revenge is gonna be mine. Revenge, revenge, revenge. It's gonna be mine. We actually got to go into a studio and record that, so it was really cool. So the stuff we did live on the set, we were just lip syncing to ourselves already pre-recorded. So I just had fun with it, and it was just like I was able to immerse myself in it, and I loved it. Thank you for the question. This is part 2? Okay, cool.
I'm your sister, Bailey.
Hi, Bailey.
If there was a souvenir you could take from the show, what would it be and why?
Already did. It's called Smee's hat. And I'll wear it tonight. I'll wear it tonight for karaoke. Are you coming to karaoke? Are you coming to karaoke?
Yeah.
You'll see it tonight at karaoke. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Christina.
Hi, Christina.
I wanted to know, is there any character that Smee didn't interact with that you would have liked to have him interact with?
Bex. She would have been so cool. I don't even know. I think Smee would have just become a puddle on the ground, like, and not because of any kind of curse or magic or anything, just because he'd be so scared. Definitely her. I worked with a lot of people on the show eventually. At first it was just Hook mostly, and then Rumpelstiltskin. But I got to work with a few people, so Selena was basically the only one that I really didn't get to. I think she was in a scene that I was in the Oz season, when I run away. I was supposed to take Henry to New York. I believe she was in that scene, but I didn't work directly with her. I would have loved that. She's incredible. Yeah, agreed, concur. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, what was your favorite scene in the Jolly Roger?
In the Jolly Roger. I want to say the first one where Hook and I first meet there. That was so special because that was the live stuff. That was like you're on the boat and it was just like so magical. And both Colin and I were new. Like both Colin and I were new to the set. We were meeting all this crew for the first time together. And we even had our costume fittings together. And I remember, here's something you may not know. I talk about this at panels quite a bit. When Colin, we had our fittings at the same time as well. So I got fitted for my Smee outfit. And I come out and I'm like, yeah, it's great. Everybody liked it. And they were like, it's great. And then Colin comes out. And he's basically got what he's got on, except he's got this super duper long kind of like hairband wig. Like, that was gonna be Captain Hook. Was gonna have this hair down to here, like down to here, and like super flowy and stuff. And I think we both just looked at each other. We were like, just do your hair. So that first scene, and then also the last one we did, the one on the Jolly Roger with Henry. Just because that was like, we never had it rocking that big before. We actually, like, the mast actually broke off at one point. The extra that was up there just about went flying off. Like, it was an adventure within the adventure. Like, it was crazy. It was a long, long day though, but luckily Colin got us was able to rent us a hot tub for afterwards. Because we were just getting doused with water. They tried to make it warm, but it would just cool off. And so we kept getting splashed by this water. And it's literally these water cannons for, I kid you not, 14 hours of these water cannons being shot at us. As we're being like rocked like this. Boom, boom, boom. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, it was lovely to just like me, Andy, and Colin all got to sit in a beautiful warm hot tub at the end of the day to finish it. It's wonderful. Thank you. Great question. Thank you. Hey, dude. Hey, winner.
Hi.
He won the yes/no, by the way, for those who weren't here. I wasn't being facetious.
So I was wondering, how did you feel when, like, Colin or Hook was bossing you around when you guys were on the Jolly Roger?
I'm in my element then. I don't have to like figure out what I'm gonna do because he'll just tell me what to do. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool. I'm like, all right, Captain, and I'd do anything for him, or Smee would. You know what I mean? Like Smee would do anything for Captain Hook. And I love that. I love playing that kind of loyal character. So for me, it was really fun. It's Brady, right?
What?
What's your name again?
Brody.
Brody. Close. It's pretty good. Thank you for the question, Brody.
You're welcome.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Congratulations again on winning, too. Listen again. Hi. I'll save you for later.
So, my name's Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi. I was just wondering, Robert explained at Paley Fest how he came up with how he was going to portray Rumble. Did you, as me, you yourself, put any mannerisms or quirks into the character that you put yourself?
Yeah, there's sort of the kind of, it's more like a diminutive thing that I don't have in real life. So for me here, like right now, I think for me, I just had kind of hunched shoulders a little bit, and a little bit like that, as far as physicality went. As far as the actual characterization, I did a little bit of histrionics. I tend to do, which is to say that, like, I'll go, Captain, you know, not that much, but I like putting that kind of stuff in. It just sucks when you have to go and do ADR. And do you know what ADR is, when you have to go and redo your voice? When you're doing like, It's pretty freaking hard to match that stuff. Yeah, so the hunch kind of thing, and then just the histrionics. But I know that Robert put a lot into it, and I addressed that a little bit before. How he was telling me how when he meets someone, he picks a trait of theirs that he uses for himself.
Yeah, I heard that he got.
It's amazing.
He got the voice for Rumble from his little son when he was coming up with the character.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Because that's what his son usually did. He
Yeah.
used to do that voice.
Yeah, that's Brad. It's so good. It's incredible. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Is there anybody who has a question that wants me to come and ask them? Okay. That's cool. She asked if I could do the rumble giggle. I don't know.
Yes.
Who else? Okay. I'm not going to screw the sound up, am I? Doing this?
I was just wondering how Smee would have felt when Hook asked Henry to be his essay.
Choked. No, he wouldn't have been that choked. I think he's like pretty accepting of the captain's decisions. But you have to imagine that there was, if Smee is as sensitive as I am, I'm sure there was a little crick in his voice and a little bit of a heartbreak right there. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
How was it working on Harper's Island?
Oh man, he asked how it was working on Harper's Island, which is a TV show I did, a horror TV show. It was brilliant. It was like an Agatha Christie, it was like a whodunit type show, and we didn't know who was going to die from one episode to the next. So we would get a phone call at the end of the last episode, and they would say, "Are you sitting down? I have some bad news." And that's how we found out, but it was great. I absolutely loved it. Can you pass the microphone down here?
Can you do one of your other accents, Essie?
A sort of little noise. Captain, if we may, could we get back to the Jolly Roger, please? A little bit tired? We're going to lie down. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Does Smee like glitter, and what color?
I knew we were going to get back to that. Yes, he does like glitter, and he likes it pink. Thank you very much. She asked, what was it like to be on a series of unfortunate events? Amazing.
Right.
As far as pranking goes, I'm not there enough to kind of be, you know what I mean? I don't want to rock the boat, so when I'm there, I'm like on my best behavior, hitting my marks and memorizing my lines. There is stuff that goes on, it's just generally kind of pranky, like pulling people's marks and stuff like that. And you're standing over here, and the camera guy's like, dude, what are you doing over there? And I'm like, well, dude, that's where my mark is. And somebody's moved it back on you. It's that kind of thing. It's a very fun set, though. Very, very fun. Thank you for the question. I'll get to you guys in a second. No. Thank you. Do you think Smee would survive in Pirates of the Caribbean? You guys, this is how you ask a question. She didn't want anything from me. She just wanted to know how my day went. No, it's going great. Thank you so much. I love this. I really do. When I said before about this fandom, I mean, I just love it. I love, like, you feel the love. And I've seen so many people get lifetime friendships from this show. Like, on the reg. Yeah. Thank you.
My question is, okay, so I'm from France, and I didn't realize that your last name sounds pretty French, so I was wondering where you're from.
Okay, so French Canadian. I'm actually Métis, which is I'm partly Cree, First Nations, and there's a large contingent in northern Alberta of Gauthiers, which is like French Cree, Métis. So that's me. We have a question over here. Her friend's trying to take a picture of her asking. No, that's okay. Take the picture. Got it. Constantly. The guy constantly makes it. She asked if Colin ever made me laugh on set. Sometimes it's hard because he tries to do it when I'm doing a take. So when the camera's on me, he'll be standing there like deliberately trying to make me laugh, which screws everybody up and also gets me in trouble. So I don't like it very much. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Are you kidding me? Totally. Did you hear that? She said if I got to do a spin-off with Smee, would I do it? Yes.
I was wondering how long you would sing.
So I was in a band when I was younger, so that was probably grade 10. But I've always just sung along, like, to music. I love music. It's become a real theme today, actually. Hi. Oh, okay. Any other questions?
What did you play in your band? You said you were in a band.
I was a singer. Yeah.
You better part of playing with me.
Working. I'm going to go back to saying she's coming to me, isn't she? She's had enough for a while, so we're going to bring over. Oh, you're not even mom. I'll get to you in 1 second, okay? My favorite part about playing Smee was she went away. I'll go to her. I'll go to you. Was working with all those different collectors. So basically what I said before. What's up?
How much would you like to work with Regina?
She's so sweet. Did you hear what she said? She said, how much would you like to work with Regina? I would love to, and I did. I got to play dice with her. But I would love to work with her again and again and again. She's amazing and she's wonderful. Thank you so much for the question, buddy.
Got the answer. Yay! High five. All right.
Yeah, how is it filming in the cold? You know what, Vancouver's pretty nice. We don't get like insanely cold. It's not like the rest of Canada where it will be like 4 feet of snow and like death. This is actually it's pretty chill. I mean, yeah, it's never that bad. The worst is the rain. When you have to work in the rain, and then it's a little bit chilly, then that kind of sucks. But for the most part, we got pretty good Vancouver. I'll tell you what. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyone else? Come in the room.
I have a comment slash question. I'm happy to meet you.
Congratulations.
My mother's from Toronto.
Yeah, cool.
Also, when we met your character, Steve, it seemed like he was supposed to get a lot more of a backstory and like.
To be honest with you, she said it felt like we were supposed to get more of a backstory to Smee. In actuality, that was going to be it. It was going to be that episode, but I guess they liked our rapport, and I guess they liked what I did enough to bring me back. I think in total there was something like, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 episodes. I don't think so. So in TV, you get characters who basically are there to help other characters, and I don't mind that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get to do some of like the stuff that they can't have Hook do. Yeah, but stealing Balefire's cloak, like they couldn't have Hook do that. So they're like, who can we get to do that? Oh, we can get Smee to do that. So it serves a different purpose than just being a fun character. I'm like, what do they call it? I can't even remember what they call it. But basically, it's just an aid to help the plot. Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it was only supposed to be that one episode, so I was very, very lucky. Thank you very much, Lauren. Right? Thank you. Anyone else?
I wonder with the popularity of Once Upon a Time, are you recognized much more frequently where we go?
Yeah, for Once Upon a Time I am. That's one of the most recognized I get for it. But I did this series of beer commercials in Canada for also Canadian beer. That I get recognized all the time. It's like it's embarrassing a little bit. I'm like, guys, I'm in TV, I'm on film, like I'm more than just a beer commercial. But everybody's like, you're the mama dude. I had this series where I carry in this tiny little keg of beer, and I'm like, guys, look what I found. And so I got recognized tons for that. People buying me beer. It got dangerous. She asked what my favorite Disney movie was. There's so many good ones. I think The Jungle Book. That was so cool, and everything about that actually. Everything about that, and the remake that they did of it, the 3D animated one, was absolutely incredible. It was such a hoot. Look at me, I'm all tuckered out. It's like chubby guy syndrome. Really, I walked around like one little bit, and I'm like, whoo! If anybody else has any questions, I will be taking, I think I've got time for what?
We got time for another one.
We have time for another one.
Go right there.
All right, I'll come to you, last time.
Don't say you never got to work out with us, Chris.
I know. Thanks, creation.com.
So you said you worked on the set of Supernatural and you were on Supernatural, and that's filmed in Vancouver too.
Yes.
So do you ever see like Jared Padalecki or Vincent Ash?
A little bit. He hangs out with some of the dudes that I know too. I don't like. I've got a family now. I'm not into out on the town, sort of. You see him every once in a while. Yeah. Well, Supernatural, they're not that close. Without giving anything away, the Supernatural set was, at least when I was there, was way out of town. But the Smallville set was really cool. You could take the SkyTrain over top of it. And you could take the SkyTrain over top of the Once Upon a Time set, too. I don't know if you knew that. Probably wasn't something they advertised, sorry. Thank you for the question. And you guys, thank you all so bloody much. You're incredible.
Give it up for Chris.